Episode 56 with Tennil Beuerlein on the 9 Point Start the Dream podcast.
Welcome to 9 Point Started with a Dream podcast. Our goal is to showcase the stories of athletes and the community that supports them by being authentic about their journey. Here's your host, Jacoby Gillum.
Yo, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, as always, Jacoby Gillum. This episode is a first of many that are to come, but we're diving into this world of CrossFit, and it's a world that I didn't understand until I started doing it. And I realized that it's just like every other sport. You got to work hard. You got to show up every day to get a little bit better. And this episode, we have Tennil Beuerlein, and she's legit. And we go through her journey and kind of how she started out with someone just really new to the sport, and how she just progressed each day trying to get a little bit better. And what it meant for her to show up every day. Great episode here, just hearing her journey and just hearing her drive and ambition to want to be the best, and how she achieved fittest in the U.S. In 2017, but that wasn't enough for her. So great episode here, great journey. Hope you enjoy, and let's get to it. So Tennil, the question I ask everyone that comes on is, when you were younger as an athlete, what was one of your bigger dreams or goals you wanted to achieve?
You know what? When I was younger, I started getting into sports when I was like super, super young. Like, I don't know, 5th grade is when I can remember starting basketball. My dad had me doing soccer when I was younger than that. And he had like a gym in his garage, and we would go out there, and I would always want to work out with him. So he would just like get me doing like little stuff, and then it kind of slowly grew into more. And I remember once we were doing like these leg extensions on this little tiny kid machine that he had gotten. And he was like, we're going to get these legs so buff for soccer so you can kick goals from half court, from half the field. So I started at a young age just like working out with him. And so it was kind of like a natural thing that I did my whole life. And I play a crap ton of other sports, but I think just him starting me young like that kind of got me in the mindset that like I liked doing sports, and my goals kind of developed from there on what I wanted to do depending on what I liked at that time.
Awesome. So with that, what was the goal always? Was the goal ever to go like playing college or anything like that, or go pro?
Yeah, I really liked soccer, but then when I got into high school, I found out that I really liked basketball more, because I was doing them both at the same time. And I don't know, so I wanted to go to college and play basketball. And I actually was going to do that. And then when I got there, the coach that had brought me there got fired. And the new coach brought like half their team, and she was not like, she was nice, but she was like, hey, yeah, I got pretty much my whole team here. You're welcome to stay. And I was just like, all right, I'm gonna have to work really hard to get my position back, which was fine. But then I had the cross country coach come to me and be like, hey, let me run for me, and I'll do this, and this for you. And it just sounded like a much better scenario. So I ended up running cross country in college.
Very cool.
And which I really liked, because I did that in high school as well. And then I also played rugby in college 1 year because I just wanted to try it.
Are you still balling out a little bit? You still playing a little bit?
I play here and there because my sister went to college and played at a D1 school for basketball. So we'll play at home or with my family. We play around the world a lot. We play, little games, but pickup games, but not like I used to.
Okay.
When I got involved with CrossFit, I became extremely dedicated to that.
And so when did you find CrossFit?
Let's see. I was, I think in like 2013, towards the end of 2013. I was getting close or almost done with graduate school. I was getting my physical therapy degree, my doctorate in that. And then I found CrossFit, and I kind of fell in love with it. I just liked going to the gym with my friends and working out. And then I realized that I could go to these competitions and make a little money here and there when I'd win. And then I was like, all right, I could love this. I can make money doing this. I'm gonna push myself a little bit harder in this.
So we kind of first found this sport. What drew you into it?
I think mostly just being at the gym with my friends, and I don't know, I just had fun. And it was challenging for me in a way that like sports weren't, I guess. Like, I don't know, it's different because sports are so, like basketball, it's got a lot of like drills and techniques and stuff like that. And CrossFit was a lot of like just who can keep going.
It's like mental.
Yeah, exactly. So I liked that part. I just liked that it was me against me, you know?
I learned that the hard way. I walked in kind of cocky with it, I like eat candy while I worked out, I was like, I'm a former D1 athlete, like I can do this, I was walking, I was like, I got this,
Yeah.
That first thruster, I was like, ooh, what's life?
Oh no, for sure. I remember when I first went to my very first CrossFit gym, I at the time was running like 7 or 8 miles like every day, and going to a gym and like doing like regular like leg workouts or arm workouts or whatever. And I went in there thinking that it wasn't going to be that bad. And it crushed me. I just remember like, holy crap, I can't believe how hard that was. But I'm glad it did, because that's what drew me in.
Because it's almost like there's always another level you can achieve with it, right?
Yep. Oh no, there's never going to be a day where I'd walk into the gym and be like, all right, I'm good enough.
Yeah.
I don't need to do it anymore.
and how'd you kind of get that mindset that like I'm always gonna reach the next step on that next level?
I think that was instilled in me from a little kid. Like, my dad was always telling me that I could do whatever I wanted. I just had to work really hard to get it. And I think any sport I did, I would try so hard. Like, I was gonna die. Like, if I didn't win, it was because I died.
Right.
Like, I was just gonna try my hardest. And when I found CrossFit, it really allowed me to tap into that stuff.
Definitely. So at what point did you realize, wow, I'm really good at this thing?
Well, I don't think there was a point that I was like, hey, I'm pretty freaking good at this. I always felt like I just needed to get better and better. Like, there was never a point where I was like, I don't know. I don't think you can say that, because literally you can always get better. There's always someone that's better than you. So I made it to 6th in the world, and that just wasn't good enough either. Like, you can always get to 1st. So there was never a time where I was like, I'm the best.
And so while you were training, how'd you approach training each day? So kind of for me, it's like I walk in, I'm like, dang, I'm bad at double unders. How can I improve that? I can improve in X, Y, Z. How can I do that? For you, how'd you approach getting better each day?
I had a coach who would program my stuff for me. So he would, program stuff that I needed to work on, obviously. And I would just work on them every single day, different things every day. And, eventually you're going to get better at those things. So, and he was just really, really good at what he did. And he helped me to not overtrain, to eat right, to sleep enough, get sunshine, like, you have to have a pretty balanced life, because I was training like towards the peak of like season would be like, I'd be at the gym like 8 or 9 hours.
The grind didn't stop.
Yeah, it was a grind. It was exhausting, but just amazing too. So
So when you got the point where you were fixing the world, and you said that wasn't good enough.
I mean, yeah, because every year I could just taste it a little bit more. And so you'd go home and you'd be like, okay, I got to work on these things and I'm going to get better and I'm going to do better. Because my first year at the CrossFit Games, which is kind of like the Olympics of CrossFit, I got 11th. And then that made me 11 out of 40 of the best in the world. So that made me feel like, you know what? That was my first time. Like, I can come back and I can do a lot better. So I learned a lot from that first time, and you come home and you just train even harder. Like, it's so motivating. You're like, I thought I trained hard last time, but I am going to kill myself this time. So you just train harder, and then you're able to do a lot more volume, because that's one of the hardest parts about the games is it's like 4 or 5 days in a row and you're exhausted with like no sleep. So you train like that so that your body can handle that, and you try to do even more than you would do at the games. So when you do get there, it's like you're not that sore, you're not dying. You know what I mean?
So how does the games work differ from like the open when it comes to just the way the level competition is and just the grind with it?
Yeah, so the open is 5 weeks in a row, one workout. Everybody can do them in their own gym, and you have to record it and then submit it online. And then whoever qualifies from that used to go to a thing called regionals, but they just canceled that. So now you don't even have to do the open. But if you get top 20 in the world in the open now, you get to go to the games. Or you have to go to like a qualifying competition. Sanction event, and you have to win a sanction event to go to the games. Or in your country, in the open, you have to be first place. Okay. And then you get to go to the games too. So it's kind of changed a lot, but I don't know. I really liked the old way.
Gotcha. I did for the first time this year, and my goal was to be in the top 50% of the U.S. I was like, we're just starting this thing. Let's get in the top half.
Yeah.
And so that was something.
Did you get it?
I did. I got it.
Good job.
The struggle was real. But so for you, so how did you get to that point where you really achieved that? Like, because in 2017 you were the fittest, right? So how did that feel, just to think of all from where you started to where you were today?
In 2017, I was fittest in the United States. Yes. And how did it feel? It felt amazing.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know. It's funny because I didn't even realize that I had gotten fittest in the United States until the whole thing was over. Because all I was thinking about was being fittest in the world. And they're like, no, you finished first in the United States. And I just remember like, really? Oh, you're right. I am first in the United States. It was pretty cool. It was a good feeling. And I mean, maybe then I might have felt a little bit like, okay, like,
you were satisfied.
Yeah, because I mean, it starts small. You have goals of just like, okay, I want to make it to the games. Then you make it to the games and you're like, you know what? I think I can win this. And then your goals change. So like, yes, I would reward myself and I would be happy for the things that I had already accomplished. But that just the fire in me was like, no, we're not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
So just push me to go harder and harder and harder. And yeah, I don't know. That's just the kind of person I am, I guess. I wish, like, my family wishes that I could just be like, yeah, I made it to games. That's good enough. Like, because I can't even tell you how many hours I had to like sacrifice not hanging with my family or doing things with them. And or like on Christmas Day, they'd be like, are you kidding me? You have to go work out. It's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how I'm wired, I guess.
It's the athlete mindset, you just want to hold your own faith in your own hand type stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. That's definitely me. You know how they have teams?
Mm-hmm.
I've never really wanted to be on a team because I didn't want anyone else to blame but me if I didn't win.
I love that.
You know, like I just felt like I would, if I've been on teams before, obviously, and when someone's not doing their job, you want to do it for them. And I would have to definitely change my mindset if I was going to be on a team. I would just be like, this is for fun. We're just going to chill. Like,
That's so hard though.
don't get upset. Yeah, no, for sure. It's I'm just so competitive that it's hard for me.
For you, what's like your go-to cheat meal when it's like that day when you can just have anything you want?
Oh man, that changed for me over the years, you know, because sometimes sometimes it would just be like a pint of ice cream, of some kind of ice cream. I don't know. And I'd definitely finish that whole thing.
Definitely.
But sometimes it would be like chocolate chip cookies. Probably either of those.
Okay.
I love chocolate chip cookies and milk or ice cream, or maybe even both.
At the same, just dip them in there, just scoop them together.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for anyone listening right now that's like, you know, either they're a veteran in the game or they're a rookie getting started, what would be like your advice on just how to just enjoy it, but also get better every day?
You know, I would say main things, depending on what level you are, is make sure you go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time, because it gets your body in a rhythm. And I feel like that starts everything on the right track. You get good sleep and you get your body in a system where it can function correctly, because that's like the basis. You start that off right, and then you start eating correctly at the same times every single day, making sure you're eating enough, because that's what people don't realize. They don't realize that like training is like yeah, you got to put the hours in the gym, but if you're not recovering, you're not going anywhere. So I would say definitely start with sleeping correctly, eating correctly, getting sun every single day, and then obviously getting yourself the right programming that can put you where you want to be.
Definitely, I love that. That's some hard stuff though. Sleeping at the same time, you got to eat at the same time. So for you, so it's you. Yeah, you have like just like a timer or like an alarm every day just says.
Well, your life has to be dedicated to your goal if you really want to get it. That's why so many people will say to me, "Oh yeah, I want to go to CrossFit Games," and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, well, what are you doing to get there?" And they'll be like, "Oh, I go to the gym and, you know, I'm working out really hard." And I'll be like, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, but we're going out this weekend to party, blah, blah, blah." And I'll be like, "You don't want to go to the CrossFit Games. Like, that's not, you got to align your whole life. Like, if you were to go train with someone who goes to the CrossFit Games and see how they live every single day, most people would be like, I can't do that. That is way too strict for me, way too boring or whatever, you know, like it's not easy. It's very monotonous.
I think it's cool because like you always hear about the grind there, but you don't really hear about the grind in CrossFit yet. Mm-hmm. I feel like, so it's kind of, for me, I go like, man, it's not just showing up every day. You can't just show up in here and be good.
No. No, I mean, there's so much more, like, especially in CrossFit, like mentally, you have to be able to push yourself. You have to be able to, you know, be honest with yourself when you do something wrong. You can't have any pride. Like, you have to just be like, you know what? I suck at this. Like, I need to get better at this. Definitely. You know? So you just got to be yourself and be honest with yourself. Some people think they really want something, but they really don't. They're looking for something else, like Instagram fame or freaking who knows what else.
Or like some self-validation to kind of achieve something that they wish they could have, something else.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, what's next? I know there's a baby on the way, like, so you're still training. What's your idea? You're still training and after something goes. She's all in.
Yeah, no, I still go to the gym every day except for Sundays, and I'm definitely working hard. Training's obviously changed. It's weird, but this Saturday I'll be halfway towards having this baby. 5 months.
Awesome.
Freak, I know that went fast. But no, I think my goals right now are just, have a safe, healthy pregnancy and get this little guy out and get him growing. I'm going to teach him everything I know. Pretty excited about that.
Definitely.
But I don't know what, for me, athletic wise, I know there's no way I could not do anything competitive in my future, because that just would be not me at all. But I don't know if that's going to be like in CrossFit, or I've also thought about doing like Spartan races and stuff like that, because I love obstacle courses. It's like, I love it. It's just so fun for me. So I've thought about doing that, but something competitive, I can tell you that.
Something that just give you that drive to keep pushing to another level.
Yep, something to keep me wanting to train hard. Some kind of goal to push myself, depending on what happens with CrossFit, because, it's changing so much right now. Maybe try to do that again, or depending on how old I am, because I'm 31 right now, maybe train and do the Masters division, try to win that, or I don't know. Who knows? I got to decide when the time comes.
Definitely. So one last question for you. So where do you see CrossFit kind of going now with all these kind of adjustments and stuff?
I don't know. This is going to be a trial year and see how it goes. I'm like so curious to see how they're going to run the games with all these athletes, because instead of 40 women, there's going to be like 180 or something like that. So I'm wondering how they're going to run the events, how many events there's going to be. Is it still going to be as grueling as it was before? Are they still trying to find the fittest in the world? Or are they just trying to have, every country be represented there, more like the Olympics?
The Olympic style.
So I don't know. I'm not sure what it's going to be like, but I'm just going to hold no judgments and wait and see what they do. And, I guess part of me, doesn't want it to change, because change is hard, and I just really loved what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope whatever it has changed into will be really awesome as well.
Yeah, and you'll be there ready to snatch and get everything going.
That's right. I you know what? I snatch and clean still at the gym, and I miss lifting the heavy weights, but I'm also really loving where I'm at right now too. Just like giving my body like time to like heal, and I feel like
vacations. You're traveling. I was like, man, she's living it up right now.
Oh yeah, I'm totally living it up. I'm like, I can do whatever I want. I only have to go to the gym once a day. Like, I have so much time for like family and friends, and just, it's cool. It's a nice little break. I needed it, and just mentally and physically. And I feel like if I do come back, I'm gonna be ready, just like mentally ready to work hard.
Yeah, kind of almost like a little refresher type deal.
No, for sure. I can't even express to you how tired of going to the gym every single day like that would become. Like, I just remember saying to my husband, like, I cannot believe I'm doing this another year. Like, but I'd say that, but then, man, when I'd be out there and a workout would get done, and that feeling you get of just like pure, just like you just want to like scream because you're so pumped up. Mm-hmm. There's nothing like that.
Yeah. Right now, social media wise, what are your handles and such?
So it's Tennil_Reed is my Instagram. And I do have a Facebook. I just don't use it very much. I just kind of post through Instagram onto it. So I would say my Instagram is where you'll see all the updated stuff on my story and on my, on my posts.
Cool beans. Tennil, it's great talking with you. Just kind of learning about the game and your journey.
Yeah, no, that was fun. I love reminiscing on all those good times.
Yeah. Awesome. And maybe I'll see you around town's CrossFit one day.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm sure I'll cheer you on.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Well, enjoy the rest of your day and talk soon.
Yo, thanks for listening to this episode of the 9 Point Started With a Dream podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please comment, share, leave a review. We would love to hear your thoughts. You can find more athlete-driven content at 9point.com. Till the next episode, you're only one opportunity away. Peace.